All right, today on Days of Our Lives, Down for Life, we have a good friend of mine and a brother in the Lord, Brother John. We worked at said establishment for a number of years, and we did the best we could to make an impact on the clients that were there with us. If you know, you know. So John came all the way down from
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe, Texas. No, just kidding. It's Santa Fe,
New Mexico, land of the enchantment.
Land of the enchantment. So he said. So John is going to give us a spiel about his ministry and what God's doing with him and his family and his recovery. And he's going to give us the short side, even though it would probably take us 100 videos to talk about what all we've been through and what God's bringing us into even now. So I'll let John speak. What's it mean to you, John, to be down for life?
Man, for me, it's just teaching my kids, things that maybe I wasn't taught, different pathways, different avenues to take in life to maybe have a little bit easier life than I had. Between the addiction and, everything else. And raise them in a home where God is the center of our household. That's definitely one thing I didn't have growing up. I was in my late teens before my parents found God, and even later than that, and when I finally found Him. So I think that's probably the biggest motivator. And then along with it is just, help as many people as I can find that in their own life, in their own ways, and, whatever we can do to bring people to heaven with us,
And we know that John does have a history. He was somewhat of a rascal, like I was, and like a lot of us were. And John, I'm sure you'll share your page, your YouTube, and whatever, where you share the in-depth story. But for today, can you tell us the importance of having like a spiritual awakening, but specifically through Jesus Christ, in terms of what it means for long-term sobriety and to be able to try to leave and live out that legacy that you're speaking of? And why is that important to you today?
It was sitting in prison where that spiritual awakening had touched me and where it had changed me. And, without it, I definitely wouldn't be sitting where I'm sitting today. Without it, I would have never met my wife. Without it, I don't think I would have made it through, losing my leg, through the struggles of being a felon on the free world again and trying to survive with that stigma attached to you. And so the importance of it, I guess, especially that touches real close to me, is the fact that if it weren't for that, if it weren't for God, if it weren't for, my faith in Christ and just trying my best as a human to follow His word, I don't know if I wouldn't be back sitting in prison right now. I don't know if I would have lost my kids by now or lost my wife or even had them to begin with. And being on this side of it now, I can't imagine my life without those three in it and without just the peace I have, running around not looking over my shoulder constantly, wondering if every knock on the door is the police fixing to jump in or, someone looking to rob me, whatever it might be. Just the peace alone is important. And, I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason and God has a pathway for all of us. And I tell people all the time, there was a lot of hard struggles and a lot of uphill battles in life for me, but I feel like God purposely put me through those because now I have a testimony and a story I feel like could reach others and others can relate to that might get them to think, man, all right, maybe my life isn't addiction or maybe my life isn't, running with these people or, committing these crimes just to survive. It's just I've always been a firm believer, even before finding my belief that, things happen for a reason. Now it's not just things happen for a reason, but God puts us through trials, puts us through tribulations, puts us through these roads in life to eventually at some point use it to His glory.
Come on, man.
I know, like even now, like where I'm at, like I come across people, on these different social medias sharing their stories, or in life at church talking to people that, I there's times I think, oh man, I got the craziest story, like nobody's gonna believe it. And then I hear a story from somebody else, I'm like
Trump.
yeah. I'll be sitting there like, oh, okay, man, it wasn't that bad, I guess. At least I came out on the other side fairly unscathed. But I'm just thankful that when God was ready and I was ready to open my eyes, I opened them. And then I'm human. I still struggle. I still make mistakes. I still stray away from time to time, or sometimes it takes my wife to remind me, like, as a Christian, you probably should have handled that a little differently. And I can be stubborn. Someone told me something funny today, talking about my son who's 5 and how stubborn he is, and I made a joke. I was like, man, he must get that from his mama. And it was actually one of the pastors at my church, and he goes, oh yeah, that's because you still got all yours, right? It's like, oh man, you got me there. But yeah, it's there were some fun times in the old days, but man, like the peace and the just like knowing that if the world were to end tomorrow, like I know I got a place, and I don't have to worry about where I'm going to end up, and I don't think I have to worry about where my wife's going to end up. My son loves, he loves hearing stories of the Bible, and he loves going to church. And that to me is the greatest success as a parent. Forget what kind of job he grows up into, even though this kid's going to be the next Elon Musk. Not worrying about how much money he's going to make, because at the end of the day, none of that's going to matter. It's just going to matter where he ends up when it's all over. And if I can play a part in that, and me and my wife as a team can instill that in him, and in a way to where he wants it and doesn't feel like he's got to do it to please mom and dad, to be excited for it, that's the ultimate goal.
Awesome. Love it, man. So y'all heard it straight from the horse's mouth, Brother John. Got an amazing story, amazing testimony, but we both know, as well as everybody watching, that our attention span on any type of social is like probably 10 seconds. But for those that survived this far, we do want to give John a brief stint to talk about what his ministry is and what he's doing now for the kingdom and for the community, and to just set a great example for others.
So this is fairly new. I just kind of got it rolling in the last couple months, but my project's called Beyond Resolve. Real quick, it just means you can be as resilient as you want, but resilience alone ain't gonna get you to the kingdom, ain't gonna get you to where you definitely want to go or get past some hurdles, and that beyond is God. That beyond is your faith, and with it I get up in the mountains and I take on challenges that a lot of people that have a prosthetic like me or have other disabilities or whatnot are scared to take on because they're fearful that they can't do it. And I'm trying to, in a way, show people that, if you have that faith in God, you have that faith in yourself, that, man, you can accomplish a lot. You've seen me do rock walls and ropes courses, and
I got 2 legs. I ain't climbing no rocks, brother, but I'm vicariously climbing with you.
Yep. So that's bottom line what my channel's all about: bringing inspiration through faith and resilience, and just the willingness to try. Because I mean, probably one of the oldest sayings I could ever remember my dad saying is "can't, never, could do anything."
Yes,
And so I like to get out there and kind of share my journey through that, along with some really pretty sights along the way.
Yeah,
So
I watch his channel, and we're gonna see if Brother Ramon can go ahead and edit the link and put all of John's social media and his YouTube channel. We want to follow him. We want to support him, and he just told me that there is merch coming. So we don't know. Say something in the comments so you can be, in the loop. Follow John and his family with this amazing journey. We thank him for his time, or like Shiraz said, his mind, his time, and his understanding. So thank you, John.
I appreciate it, brother.
Man for life, for sure. All right.
That was awesome.
Beautiful. That's a God thing, brother.